Hey guys, it is NCSFan001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, March 13th, 2023. So this will have covered the week of, I guess it would have been March 6th through the 12th of 2023. This was a pretty productive week overall, not gonna lie. It was pretty successful overall, earned a couple of platinum trophies, made progress on a couple other games. I'd say it was a good week overall. I did not do any GTA 5 this week. I guess that I'm just now like very demotivated for doing said trophy after everything that happened last week, or the week before now, I guess it is technically. So yeah, if I don't make any progress on that anytime soon, then that's exactly why. But anyway, for this week, I caught progress in a total of 4 different games. So we're going to start out with Ratchet and Clank All for One. So, of course, this is a game that kind of came up out of nowhere. Ghost got me and Killer to play it, and it's not a very good game, and most people that have commented seem to agree that it's one of the worst. Though it sounds like I want to say people are saying that it's Full Frontal Assault is the worst one, so I haven't played that one before, so at least I guess I didn't play the worst one. But this is definitely probably one of the worst games in this franchise from what I can tell from people. However, it does have one of the rarest platinum trophies in the franchise. I think on PSN profiles it's a sub 10%, which is pretty nice, gotta say that. And on here, as you can see, it's a 1.4% ultra rare. Probably because most people picked up this game for like 10 minutes, or maybe even just played through the whole thing in co-op and then never touched it again. Thankfully, Ghost is very knowledgeable on this whole franchise and this game as well. So he was able to at least tell us what we had to do for everything and get us through it in a more efficient manner than it would have been otherwise. But I would definitely not recommend playing this one. If you are just a die-hard Ratchet and Clank fan and want to play through this one, I highly recommend doing it in co-op for a couple of reasons. So this is a miscellaneous trophy from early on. We didn't end up having any problems with it. We got it first try. This is a story trophy. This is probably the hardest trophy in the entire game, just because there's really almost no room for error, and if you die at any point, including if the game just like glitches out and you fall somewhere or fall through something, that will screw you over, and you will have to restart the entire level. And it also has like a 3-minute long dialogue sequence that you can't skip at the beginning, and you can't get to some of the crates until much later. It's like a 15-minute thing if you screw up, so it just kind of sucks to go for. But it is probably the hardest trophy in the game, so if you can knock it out earlier on, then you'll be pretty much good to go for the rest of your platinum. This is a story trophy. This one I thought was going to be hard, but it actually is quite easy because you can use Quark and use his shield ability. And as long as you use his shield ability, you can get hit by the Grove Beetles and it won't count against you. So it's actually super, super easy to do that way. It ended up, I got it on my first try at that point. Then this is a story trophy. That's a story trophy. This one I've talked about before. I think it might actually be bugged in a good way, because a lot of people manage to get it. You have to knock these particular enemies into the water during this level, but there's no way that we got every single one into the water that we could. Like, there's no way. We got it like halfway through the level, so this one might be bugged in a good way, which is nice. Story trophy. This one's tough to miss. It's during the part where you're on the back of the giant robot and you're shooting stuff. This one's tough to miss. It can be missed, but we got it no problem. Story trophy. This one requires at least 2 players apparently, although it can be done in split screen or in online multiplayer. We didn't fully understand what Ghost was having us do during parts of this, but we got it, so it's all good. Story trophy. This one, he just had me and Killer jump off a couple of times so that we would despawn for a minute and he would just run through it. So pretty easy to do that way. This is a story trophy for beating the final boss. And this one was really, really annoying. This one took several tries, though I think it's more because, at the very least, I didn't fully understand what we were supposed to do with the energy crystals that you could pick up and shoot at the central container. And I think if I had understood that, we probably would have gotten it within a couple less tries. This one's still definitely one of the tougher ones, though, just because there's a lot of enemies that'll come after you and try to steal the energy from the little thing. Because basically, like, everything's dark out, and you have to use this light, shiny thing to get through a bunch of enemies that'll one-shot you. It's a little complicated, but it's definitely one of the tougher trophies in the game. This one's pretty easy. I don't remember what weapon I used for it, but it's not too difficult to do. There's plenty of places where there are just a bunch of single hit enemies, so enemies you can kill in one shot. This one's pretty easy, just once you get the Pyroblaster and get it upgraded a little bit. This one's not a problem. This one, same thing, it's not really a problem. There's a lot of trophies that are weapon specific, and most of them are pretty easy because they can be farmed or at least earned in the nest entrance checkpoint from that level. That's a really good place to do it. And the checkpoint before that isn't bad either. 10 critters on screen at once can be done between all players. We got this one very early on because the critter gun is pretty overpowered. This one is a little bit tricky because it says, 2 or more teammates. I don't know if you can do it with your AI partner or if you actually have to have another person playing. We got it at some point. I probably didn't fully comprehend what some of these trophies were because I'm not used to this franchise at all, but we still got it without too many issues when we were going for all these miscellaneous combat trophies. This one's pretty easy. It's just time consuming and it can be easily farmed at that one location. Same thing, if you don't get this one naturally, it can be easily farmed. This one could be difficult, but there's a very easy way to do it. You will need a second controller or a second player online to be able to do it. Load up the checkpoint before the nest entrance and just use your wrench throw to kill everything. There's only going to be like one enemy where you're going to need to bring the second controller or second player forward and have them kill it. Because you can't kill that one with just melee, at least not without getting hit. The reason you have to do it with another player is because your AI teammate will kill stuff for you when you don't want them to. The Doppelbanger is Ratchet's special ability, so you need to get him enough bolts to purchase it and then do this trophy. It's easy enough, but it means that you'll have to do at least a slight amount of playthrough as each character in the game, because I want to say that Ghost was playing as Ratchet, I was playing as Clank, and Killer was playing as Quark for most of it. So then we each had to go back and farm bolts with other characters a little bit. This one is the Quark-specific trophy. It's easily done by standing in front of the turrets in the forest level. It's like the second or third level of the game. It doesn't take too long, just you have to unlock it first. This is Clank's miscellaneous trophy. It wasn't too difficult. You can just farm it at that nest entrance. Same thing here, just farm it at the nest entrance. This is Nefarious's trophy. Nothing to worry about there. This one's basically unmissable. It's going to be one of the earliest trophies you probably get. The co-op overload is probably going to come naturally by the end of the game, especially if you're playing in co-op with other people. This one's fairly easy, you just have to know that it's there, so just wait until the revive timer gets down to 1 second left and then start reviving them. The timer doesn't go down while they're in the act of being revived. Buy any one weapon and buy all the weapons. I believe there's 12 weapons total. You might as well go ahead and buy all the weapons during your playthrough, but you won't want to upgrade them. You'll want to upgrade the Combuster, it's the starting weapon, and maybe the Critter Gun, but everything else should be saved for later because you're going to need a lot of bolts for a later trophy. Bolts are the sort of currency in the game. Kill 500 enemies is pretty self-explanatory. 50 with the vacuum, you can easily farm that at the nest entrance. You have to have 1 million bolts banked, and this is probably one of the most time-consuming trophies in the game. It is highly, highly recommended to play through this game in co-op, not just because it makes the game a lot more tolerable, but because it actually makes this trophy easier. The more people you have in the lobby, the more bolts you will get from everything that you do. So, you'll get way more bolts from killing enemies and from breaking crates and stuff. So, Ghost had this trophy by, maybe 2/3 of the way through the game, or 3/4 of the way through the game, and then Killer got it on the last mission, then I got it on, one replay of the final mission in a good farming spot. So that's not too bad if you're playing it in co-op. If you're playing it solo, the bolt farming is going to take a whole lot longer. So once you have the 1 million bolts, then you can go in and fully upgrade all your weapons. It takes about 700,000 bolts to fully upgrade everything. Actually, it might even be a little bit more than that now that I think about it. It takes a good bit of bolts, though, to fully upgrade everything, like 700 to 800,000. So it's expensive. Definitely save the upgrading for last. And then you have a few, almost multiplayer type trophies. So you have to reach a multiplayer lobby and play an online game. Those are both very easy, but those are technically online trophies. So if you're going to be playing through this game, just knock these two out first, because they're the only ones that truly require an online internet connection. Everything else can be done in split screen as long as you have two controllers. You have to play a single-player game as well as an offline split-screen game. Those two trophies are very self-explanatory, and those won't ever become unobtainable, presumably. So just as long as you knock these two out first, this platinum should never become unobtainable for you. So yeah, like I said, was not a big fan of the game overall, but, you know, we did it, and it was a fairly uncommon platinum. And it's not a long platinum or a particularly difficult one. It's like a 3 out of 10. Mostly because of one or two more difficult trophies, and it took maybe 15-ish hours or so, so it wasn't too bad. Next up, I got the Platinum Trophy in PowerWash Simulator for the PS4. I'm gonna say it once again, this game is way more fun than it had any right to be. This game it's great. It's honestly great. It's so much fun. It's so satisfying. It's so relaxing and calming. It's just a great game to sort of wind down on after a long day of work or even school, I guess. The Platinum Trophy is pretty easy, and it's a little time-consuming, like 30-ish hours or so, but it's not too bad. So to get the Platinum Trophy, you have to own all of the cleaning liquids at the same time, which there's 6 of them, so just purchase and make sure you have at least one of each in your inventory. You have to purchase the starting power washer and 3 of its attachments. I think it only has 3, but it might have 4. The Urban X2, I think, has 5 attachments. It's the second power washer. It's the medium tier one. This is the upper tier one, and 5 of its attachments. It may only have 5, but it may have 6. And then the Prime Vista Pro is the ultimate power washer. It's the last one you get. It costs like $5,000, and its attachments altogether cost like another $5,000 to $6,000. It's the last one you get, and you will need to purchase every single attachment for it. It's quite expensive, but very worthwhile because it cleans even better. Then you have this trophy for equipping a new outfit, gloves, and washer modification. I suggest saving this one pretty much for last, purely because you want to spend all of your money on getting all the power washers and then potentially soaps and stuff before you go for this trophy. Just make sure you've been able to complete the game and everything first, so you don't like run low on money and have to replay any jobs for it. So then about 25 of the game's jobs have miscellaneous trophies tied to them. So the first one is for completely cleaning the van using only the red nozzle. This one is very easy. It was actually the last trophy I got because I didn't get it on my original playthrough of the level. But that's one of the earliest jobs. It's the very first job in the game, and it's pretty easy to do using only the red nozzle. There's nothing complicated about it. It just takes a little bit longer that way. The backyard is very easy because the 12 stones, you spawn right on top of them. In the playground, this isn't even a cleaning-based one. You just have to spray the football, a soccer ball for us over here in the US, and spray it and get it up the Stega slide. It takes a little bit of maneuvering to get it in the right position, but it's not too bad. Once you get in the right position, just lay down and spray it from a little bit further away with the red nozzle, and it should shoot right up. The bungalow, you have to save the 4 gutters for last. Just be a little bit careful with this one because it's possible you might accidentally clean one of them before you mean to. It's not necessarily difficult, but you do just have to be a little bit more careful with that. The detached house, complete the pathway, driveway, and driveway edges first. You're going to spawn on the driveway, so just do the driveway and its edges, and then the pathway, and you're good. The shoe house, this one's pretty easy because the soul takes up a very large part of the base of the house, so it's pretty easy to save for last. You won't accidentally end up cleaning the whole thing along the way. The fire station job without standing on the scaffolding, this one can be a little bit tough to do if you don't have the right equipment for it. You're going to want to have at least the long attachment for at least the Urban X2, preferably the Prime Vista 3000, I believe it is. Preferably this one. So you definitely want to preferably have that second best power washer with the long attachment, and you're going to need to use the red nozzle or the turbo nozzle to be able to clean all those sort of nooks and crannies up higher, or just some very convoluted moving and hanging out of windows and hanging off the roof in positions that should not be possible. It has been mentioned by the Xbox Achievements website that you can stand on the scaffolding, and as long as you leave the job before completing it and then join back into it, it should be okay. But I don't know if I would take a risk. I've never tested that on here. The skate park, this one's pretty easy. Just spray the ball until it shoots out of the bowl. It's pretty easy. Just might take a few seconds to get. Fire truck, the windows, windscreen, and wing mirrors first is very easy. The standing on the penny far thing is super easy. It's that really weird looking bicycle. Just stand on top of it for 10 seconds. Pretty self-explanatory. This one, there are 12 lanterns. As long as you mark them from your checklist, you should have no problem. The fire helicopter, there are 2 sets of blades. There's the 6 main blades and the 4 tail blades. Just spray those 10 things first and you're good. The carousel without turning it off is a little bit annoying because it takes a while, because there is a lot to clean on the carousel and it's a little bit harder to clean while it's moving, but it's not too bad. This one is actually very easy. Just clean some of the upper parts of the temple before you clean 1 or 2 of the bottom things. And once you've cleaned everything up higher, quit the job and join back in, and the gnome will be respawned on top of the temple, because there's pretty much no way you're going to clean the upper part of the temple without it falling down. It's just too easy to knock it down by accident. But if you do it that way, the gnome will be back up on top and you're good to go. This trophy seems to be bugged for a lot of people, I've found out. It seems to be the only trophy that's actually buggy. Some people will do everything exactly how you're supposed to, but it won't unlock. There are some potential methods to do it. I was fortunately able to get it first try, but there are some methods out there to do it. I think there's a couple of forums on PSN Profile, so I'd definitely look into that if you're having trouble with it. But just do keep in mind that this particular trophy is known to be kind of buggy, so be a little bit more careful around it. The Helter Skelter, you have to clean the 16 sets of channel lights, as well as the sign and the an upper platform and upper trim. This one's a little bit trickier just because this is kind of a more complicated job, just because there's a lot of little things to clean on it, especially with those lights, and you have to be kind of careful not to clean anything else first. The private jet trophy is very easy. The monster truck is real easy. This one, the gnome is on top of the Helter Skelter nearby, so just go grab it and put it on the Ferris wheel and ride around with it. The subway platform is massive, but the advertising boards are very easy to clean first. There's like 8 of them. This one, when you get to the ancient statue, there's just 4 buckets laying around. Just spray them until they fall over and you're good. The ancient monument using the white nozzle takes quite a while, because obviously the white nozzle is the worst nozzle in the game. It has the widest spread and the least power. The fishing boat, bow, steps, and main deck are all pretty simple to complete. First is one of the last jobs in the game. Then you have to complete career mode. The very last job is like another gigantic temple. It's massive. It takes forever to clean. Like, that particular job is going to take you well over an hour, especially if you're playing solo, because I think this game has a co-op mode, but I haven't tried it out yet, and I don't know how it affects the trophies. This is done during the carousel job. It's real near the carousel. Just go over to where the coconuts are sitting on platforms and knock all 5 over. The stars you're going to get along the way, because you're going to need to complete every job entirely to complete that final job anyway, so you'll get this about 3/4 of the way through. This one, most people recommend doing it on the penny far thing. Some people recommend doing it on the golf cart, or potentially even the ancient monument. I actually did it on the skate park, and I did it on the skate park in both versions of the game, but I don't know if that's the most efficient way to do it. There's probably other ways to do it. The penny far thing probably is easier, just because it only has like 9 things to clean. Then this is just another clean X thing first. It's simple enough. Then you have the challenge mode. Completing 1 gold medal is easy, but completing 5 is a little bit trickier, just because the challenge mode they're pretty tight on some of the requirements. You can either do time challenges or water challenges, to where you have to complete it in a certain amount of time or by using only a certain amount of water. And a lot of the requirements are pretty tough to hit. I would recommend doing the van, both the water and the time challenges for it. And then I would recommend doing the golf cart, probably both the time and the water challenges if you can. And then the motorcycle and sidecar water challenge isn't too bad. Then there's also the time challenge for the bungalow is apparently fairly easy, even though I haven't done that one before. So those are just like the 6 that are probably considered to be the easiest ones. Out of there's maybe like 18 total, so you do have a good bit of margin of error there. You only have to do, a third of them pretty much. Then you just have to complete 1 special job, which the easiest one is the Mars rover. It's by far the shortest one, so just clean that and you'll get this one. Simple enough. So yeah, great game. Highly, highly recommend playing it. Definitely enjoyed my time with the game, and I hope that you guys will as well. It's a lot of fun, and I will not be mad if the game gets DLC. So what progress have I made on the PS5 version so far? I've owned all the cleaning liquids at the same time, and owned all of the washers except for the Prime Vista Pro. I did the basically every single level specific trophy so far I have completed. The skate park... Wait, what? Did that not unlock? Huh. Now that's weird. I'm 99% sure that I unlocked that trophy. Wow, okay, well, that's really weird. I'm positive I saw that trophy pop, but I guess I didn't. Hold on just a minute. I'm now curious here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, it didn't unlock. Well, dang, I thought I did it, but somehow I didn't. Maybe it's... you know what? I bet it's because I was so focused on trying to clean the skate park without, fully cleaning one thing, cleaning it 95%. I bet that's what happened. Okay, well, that's an easy enough trophy. Maybe I'll even save that one for last. That's a simple enough one to save for last. I haven't gotten the treehouse job yet, so I don't know why it's listed above these. Carousel is the one that I'm currently on. And then, yeah, all the other trophies I've talked about before. We've got over 100 stars done. I have actually completed 4 out of my 5 necessary challenges. I just need to do one more. I just haven't had the time to do one more yet. So yeah, that's where my progress is right now on the PS5 version. That's embarrassing that I didn't complete that one trophy. I thought I did, but apparently I did not. But that's easy enough. So I might have this platinum done by the end of this coming week. If not, I'll have it done by the week after, because some of those later jobs do take quite a while. And then finally, I got the 100% in Terminator Resistance Enhanced Edition. So since we got the Platinum and 100% now, I can go ahead and look through the whole list. So for the Platinum Trophy, it's pretty easy. You can play through the game on the easiest difficulty, which is nice. There's nothing too difficult about the campaign, just, one missable trophy, and that's about it. So your first T-800, this one's basically unmissable. You'll get it pretty early on. This one's very easy because destroying the flamethrower tank is a very good way to kill this type of Terminator. Hacking 10 devices is fairly easy, and you'll probably get it just by hacking turrets throughout the game because that gives you a very useful ally against the Terminators, and there's a trophy for hacking a turret. You have to upgrade any weapon. I think this can only be done by inserting chips into the Skynet plasma weapons, but it's pretty simple. You just have to make like a circuit with it. This trophy, one guide at least says that it's missable, and another one says that it isn't. It's basically after you do the radio for Ryan quest, go into the room with Ryan and turn the radio all the way up, and then Alvin will come in and try to mess with it and turn it off. So simple enough. Take a good photo of an enemy. Once you get the ability to start taking photos, just, zoom in on an enemy and get a good photo of them, just one that's unaware of your existence. Complete any side mission. That's very simple. Just any one of the side missions. There's quite a few of them. 10 locks is probably not going to be missed because lockpicking gets you to some good materials sometimes. Crafting 5 items, you can craft any 5 simple items like lockpicks and you'll get that trophy. You'll probably need to anyway. You have to find a total of 10 notes in the game, not just one but 10, but there's like 31 or 32 total in the game. So it's pretty easy to find them because a lot of them are just right along the main path or just a little bit of exploration needed. This is, of course, the highly missable trophy in the game because you have to have a maxed out lockpick skill to be able to open up the door in Pasadena. There's a very specific door for it. I suggest looking at a video for it. It's not difficult just as long as you know that it's there and have that maxed out lockpicking skill to do it. Otherwise, it is by far the most missable trophy in the game. You have to get an enemy killed by a hacked turret. That's very easy and it'll probably come naturally. Terminator with a termination knife might not come naturally if you're not playing very stealthily, but it is a good method to kill Terminators is to use the termination knives if you have them. Skynet outposts are a type of side quest. There's like 3 or 4 of them throughout the game, so you have plenty of opportunities for this one. This is in Pasadena as well. You have to destroy the giant T-47 that's walking around. Usually your equipment won't be as great here, so it can be a little bit tougher to get. But if you hack all the turrets at the nearby outposts and, have a rocket launcher, especially if you can get a rocket launcher at that point in the game, and then a couple of plasma weapons, and you should be okay. The 5 side objectives, it's just like I said before, these are just side missions, complete 5 of them. I think there's more than 10 in the game, so you shouldn't have any problem with that. And like I said, I think the outposts count for that. Then find 10 notes, already discussed that. And then you have a bunch of story-related trophies here. So all these gold trophies are story-related. Just complete the story on any difficulty, including easy, and you will get all those trophies done, so nothing to worry about there. And then you have the Infiltrator mode, which is a new mode to the game, and it's actually really fun. You get to play as an infiltrator. You can also do these trophies on the easiest difficulty, which I'd recommend because it works sort of like the Become the Villain DLCs in Far Cry 6, where if you die, you have to restart the whole thing, so it's permadeath style. It's not too difficult to do, especially if you're playing on easy, but I definitely recommend playing on easy just so that you can make it be less stressful on yourself. So the 3 secrets, they're a little bit tough to find even with a guide just because it's real dark in that level and the field of view isn't always the best, but it's not too bad. Just find a decent guide for it and you should be able to collect all 3 and then just finish the mode, which is like you have to find a certain amount of intel and then kill a certain target and then extract pretty much. It's a cool mode, like I said, but it is a little bit annoying to find all the secrets. So for the DLC, I now can actually give a good analysis of what to do in the DLC. Your first 3 trophies here are all story related. They're all going to be earned during the first 3 story missions. The antenna and refueling stations are 2 side missions you can do during the 3rd story mission. So do keep that in mind that you will have to complete those 2 side missions during the 3rd story mission where you rescue this guy. So just make sure you do them. They're not anything too terribly difficult. Just, know that they're there. Then that's a story-related trophy for finishing the 4th mission. This one is weird because some people have said that it's missable, but I'm not really sure how it is because I think you have to destroy the construction equipment to progress the story. Some people have said that if you don't complete the side mission in this area, this is in the 5th mission, by the way. Some people have said that if you don't finish the side mission, you can't get this objective and the trophy won't unlock. So I would say to make sure you complete that side mission, but I'm not really sure if that's true because I don't really think you can complete this one without destroying the construction equipment because it appears under the main quest objective. So I could be right on that, I could be wrong on that, I'm not entirely sure, but just be a little bit cautious about that trophy. This is the last missable trophy. It's at the very end of the 6th mission. You just have to run into the generator room and plant your explosives faster than Pharaoh. You have to plant 6 explosives on the left side of the room. It would be pretty tough to miss this one because she plants pretty slowly. As long as you do it within like 15 to 20 seconds, you're perfectly fine. It's very simple. Just hold square on each one and you're good to go. And then you get 2 more story trophies for finishing the 6th and 7th missions. So 6 story trophies, 3 missable trophies. One of those is possibly missable. The other 2 are highly missable. So just as long as you keep an eye out for those missable trophies, you shouldn't have any problems with that 100%. You can do everything in the DLC on the easiest difficulty. The DLC might be considered just a little bit harder than the base game due to having real limited supplies at the beginning and not having any Gen 2 plasma weapons to use. So it's pretty short though. You can do it in like 3 to 4 hours, I would say. So it's nothing too bad. So, level 819, 29%, 25,399 total trophies, 698 platinums, 4,538 golds, 6,697 silvers, 13,466 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. So first off, I've been working on editing the Platinum Trophy video for SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake. It should be up later this week, I would think, because I've recorded the video, I've edited a majority of it, and I've recorded or written the script. I still need to record the script and edit that in, and I'm also going to need to add a little bit of background music, most likely. But it's going to be my first attempt at like a more in-depth trophy video where I'm going to show like every single trophy in the game unlocking. So it should be fun. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm putting quite a bit more work into it than I do with many of my videos, so I do hope that it does well because of that, because trophy content, again, is starting to pick up heavily right now across YouTube, trophy and achievement content, so it's probably a good time to get started on it. Along with that, I've started writing a script for the Fallout 3 edited down video, because I actually finished the Fallout 3 challenge run this past week. And as I've told people, it's probably the last time I'm going to be like straight up streaming a Fallout game anytime soon, just because they don't really pull in a lot of views, and In all honesty, like, they're just so broken on the PS3 that it just kind of gets a little bit annoying to play through. I'm still going to do an all-trophy run of Fallout New Vegas and make a video out of it, and that's probably going to be like an hour-long video doing all that game and all the DLCs. Maybe even longer than that, but that's going to be for at least a little ways in the future. Fallout 3, though, will get edited down as a video, so I'm looking forward to that because I don't know if anyone else has done a full platinum journey for Fallout 3 on YouTube. If they have, I haven't seen it. I've seen like partial ones where people have done like some of the trophies, maybe the few that they were missing or something, but that's about it. I did see one for Fallout 76 recently. That one was pretty entertaining. Definitely not one that I would ever want to do again because it takes way too long and isn't enjoyable enough and requires online. So I'll have those. I've also got one that I can start working on for Terminator at some point. I didn't do that for Dead Island or Ratchet and Clank because, to be completely honest, we were playing those in co-op, and I'm not sure how the audio stuff works when playing in co-op games, because I think I've had issues with that before when I did, like, maybe it was Uncharted 2 when me and Snickle and all that group was boosting it back in 2019. And probably because there were certain things said and lots of loud swearing that probably would have been not so great for YouTube. So, yeah, so that's part of the reasons why I didn't do that. But otherwise, you can see that we're at 698 platinums now. For number 700, I was thinking about doing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but I'm honestly starting to lean a little bit more towards PowerWash Simulator, almost more out of irony, because that's what we're considering to be a really great game nowadays. At least what a lot of people are considering to be a very good game nowadays, and I think that could make for an entertaining number 700 for that. I can probably get the Platinum Trophy live on video at some point, and, you know, on a live stream, and then I'm not going to make a video out of it, but just as a live stream I should be able to do just fine. But aside from that, I just got to find something to do for $6.99. It'll probably be some kind of easier game, maybe one of the Artifacts Monday games I have queued up and ready to go. But as for trophy plans for this upcoming week, I don't know if I'm going to play any of GTA 5. We'll have to see. I'll definitely be working on PowerWash Simulator, and there's a good chance I'll be getting started on The Division 2 unless any other games come up. Just because, you know, maybe go ahead and get started on that so I can stop mentioning it someday and actually finish it and all at some point. Hopefully, that one's probably going to take a couple of months to get through, but that'll be a nice accomplishment to have both of the Division games done. So for March, of course, it's PowerWash Simulator, Division 2, and maybe GTA 5 if I feel like going back to it. April, for now, the only game I have 100% confirmed is the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. And then in May and beyond, I've got COD Classic, Shadow of the Colossus, and Outer Worlds, and any other miscellaneous games I want to start. Now, there is going to be one other game that I'm going to start up, I know for a fact, in March, and that is, of course, going to be the Resident Evil 4 Remake. That is a day one purchase for me. I've already purchased the PS5 version. I'm going to be playing it day one. I cannot wait for that. I'm probably going to be at least streaming my first playthrough of the game. I don't know if I'll stream every bit of the Platinum Trophy, but I will definitely be streaming at least my first playthrough of the game because I'm really, really looking forward to it. The demo makes it look awesome. I cannot wait. There's a few weird changes to it that are going to take some getting used to, but I think it's going to be awesome, so definitely excited for that. That comes out in about 2 weeks. I think it comes out on a Friday, so what I might be trying to do is something that I've never really done before and do a midnight launch stream of the game. So like right when it comes out, start streaming it for like 2 hours that night and then go to work a little bit late on Friday and then stream it again on Friday night. So I think that's what I might be trying to do with the game. So we'll have to see if I'm going to be able to do that, if I'm going to be able to take the couple hours off of work that morning. I should be able to. It should be fine. Because I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be something very different and something I'm going to be pretty excited for. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already. When it comes to uploads and streams this week, I probably will not be streaming this weekend, at least not both days. I think I'm going to be kind of busy this weekend, so probably won't have the chance to stream both days, if at all. But otherwise, there should be a few videos going up throughout the week. Hopefully that Cosmic Shake video will go up this week if everything goes right with editing. And yeah, just be looking forward to, you know, more power washing and then probably an easy plat before we finish Power Washer, and then maybe get started on the Division 2 and all, and then of course Resident Evil 4 Remake in 2 weeks. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for tonight, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later this week for some more content.